In this video, I want to give you a quick overview of how to use Balsamiq Mockups, specifically the free version, which is a demo, in order to create sketches, for web projects. So the website you want to browse to is balsamiq.com. You also want to make sure that you have Adobe Flash Player installed beforehand. And once you do that, go ahead and browse to Balsamiq, click on Try Web Demo. Give it a second. And it's going to bring up the interface here. Let me just go ahead and go full screen with this. And so they have a sample mock-up just to get you started. You can read through this. Probably wouldn't be a super bad idea to do so. But I'm going to go up to the menu bar here and I'm going to clear it. And I want to do something specifically, for our class, web design. So there's a browser window object from this scroll bar right here. All right. So I'm going to pull that down onto the page. And the first line here represents the title. And the second line represents the web address. And when I click away, you'll see it fills that in right here. Additionally, I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger so I have more room to work with. On the property bar here, you can turn off and on scroll bars and all kinds of stuff. I want to lock it in place so that I can't move this around. So I can start, dragging and dropping items that matter to me. Now you can work through the menus here. Most of the stuff you're going to do is going to be text-based. There's for pictures, there's media. So you can use that, or you can just do a quick add. For instance, there's a title headline deal right here that you can just drag and drop that down into your page. Let me get rid of it. Delete. Let's see. Get rid of it. I can also, from quick add, if I kind of know the name a little bit, I can start typing it and see it. And I can click on it there and it pops it in for me. I kind of like to do that because to me that's faster. And with that selected, you can double click to enter it so you can change the text. And it's centered and it doesn't fit, so there's a couple things we can do here. I'm going to left align that using the properties here. Auto size didn't really seem to do much for me, so I'll just kind of scroll that over a bit. You can change the font size, you can change the color, you can make it bold, italic, underline. There's a few things you can do with that. But for now, I'm good with that. I want to add a picture. So under the quick add here, I can start typing in image, and there it is. I could also click on media and images there. So either way works, and so I can drag and drop that where I want to place it. I can resize it a bit. Now you can, if you have the pay version, you can put particular pictures in there, but with the trial you can't. So you either have default or you can do Flickr images. And so that's kind of a weird picture. Here's one of people with some apples. You can make it look black and white if you want to, whatever. I'm not worried about it as long as I'm happy with that, okay? So let me just kind of scroll that out. Stretch that out a bit. So let me add another heading, or as they call it, title. Actually, I could start typing in heading, whatever, and you can see headline there. This one's going to be too big to represent a heading too. This is a H2 tag, but it's way too big, right? Let me go ahead and left align that. I don't know why they started centering that by default. I'm going to make it smaller to represent a typical type of H2 tag, and that might be too small, but that's not, it doesn't matter. Next, I'm going to add a paragraph. And I'm going to pull that out because paragraphs go all the way across. Now, I don't have anything real interesting to put in here, and that's okay. I'm going to show you another website I have preloaded. Let me go to this other tab here. So if you go to lipsum.com, this will generate sample text for you. So I can say I want one paragraph. It generates a paragraph in Latin for me, which is cool. I don't have to make anything up. I'm not going to get all of it. I'm just going to select a portion of it. I'm going to copy it. I'll go back to Balsamiq, and the trial version is prompting you to buy it, so I'll dismiss that message. I'll double click on this paragraph here, select that, and I'll do a paste. And so now I have some paragraph information out there, which is cool. Now, as far as saving this, say I ran out of time, I need to come back and do more to this, but I don't have time now. If you go up to Mockup, there is no option to save it because this is the trial version, but they did give you an option to export XML, which is what all this stuff is behind the scenes. So if you export the Mockup XML option, you click on that, it'll tell you that on the clipboard, the XML data of your representation of your data is there. So bottom line, if you open up Notepad++, get yourself a document, and then you right-click and paste after you do the export, this XML file represents the sketch on the screen. You can save that, and I'm going to save it on my desktop in a folder called Sketches, and I was already there, but that's okay. I'm going to name it Index Sketch, and I'm going to do .text. So this text I can use whenever I want to open this thing up later. So let's just say, let me go ahead and close that down. I'll close that, and let me clear the history out here. So this is basically kind of resets it like I haven't been here before. So the next day comes, I want to continue working. I click on the web demo thing, and guess what happens? I get the same exact screen as when I started previously. So I'm going to clear the mockup that's there, right? Now there's the option to import mockup XML, and if you remember I saved that. So actually, let me just go ahead and minimize this. And where's my sketches? Here they are. Remember this guy right here? If I open that thing up, this is the XML that represents the page that we worked on the day before, wink wink. So if I do a Control-A or Edit Select All, it will select all this text, and then I can do a copy or a Control-C to put this into the clipboard. I go back to the mockup program, choose the import option, paste in the XML, and it puts the page back where I can do some more work to it, which is very, very cool. So let's say that I'm not satisfied with the size of this. This is too small. I want it a little bit bigger. So I've made a little change there. Let's say I want to add, well, it's kind of bugging out there. Once again, don't worry about the pictures. In fact, let me just kind of put that back to default. So let me say I want to add another paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to do another paragraph. I'll put that underneath that one, stretch it out. I'm going to go back to Lipsum because I think I already had one there, and I'll just steal the rest of this text, what I didn't use from before. So I'm going to copy that, double click that. Oops, sorry about that. Let me close that down. Getting ahead of myself here. Paste that in there. And then now I have a second paragraph, which I'm real happy about. And so I want to go ahead and update my little text file that has my XML code in it. So this is now outdated, right? So what I need to do, given that I don't have a save option, all I have is export the XML. So I click the export XML option, got a copy of this, of XML that represents this new document. I'll go back to my Notepad++, select all, Control A, or select all from here, delete that, and then paste the new stuff and go ahead and save it. So this isn't updated from the fact that I did a export after I added in new content here. So that's one way you can work with this if you don't want to, come on campus and use the Balsamiq in the labs, or if you don't want to buy it. Now, as far as exporting images from this, there's two options here you can use. There's a downloaded PNG and download as PDF. So if I click on the download PNG image, it's going to pop up a little box asking me to open it with or save as. Names it my image PNG, which is a stinky name, but that's all right. I'm going to go with it. So when I click on OK, it downloads it. It's right there. I'm going to right click on that and say Open Containing Folder. Now notice I'm using Firefox. So if you're using other web browsers, you may see slightly different things. But this is the image it just generated. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to put it inside the Sketches folder on desktop. And then I'm going to rename it to Index because it represents my index page. And when I double click it, it opens up, hopefully in Windows Photo Viewer. On campus, it'll open up in Fireworks. So if you're on campus and you have a PNG, you're going to want to right click and do an Open with Windows Photo Viewer to make sure it opens up in this. And you can see there's a graphic file that represents the sketch, which is awesome. Also, you can have Balsamiq download it as a PDF file, and it works the same way. It gives it some name, and you do a save, and then you'll have to go find it, open containing folder, cut it, browse to the desktop, find the sketch folder, paste it, and of course rename it. And so now you have an index PDF which represents the page. So either way will work, which allows you to create files that you can give to me that way, versus if you want to do hand sketches, that's fine, but if you want to keep it digital, you can. But make sure you save the XML into these little text files that you can go and import so you can work on things later. And don't forget that it warns you every 5 minutes or so that you haven't bought it. So it's a good little application. I love it, and I think it's very good for doing sketches for user interface. So I hope this helps you out. If you need to, watch it as many times as needed to kind of get a feel for how the process works.